Welcome to Animals Wow TV. Today we'll look at the top 10 biggest sea monsters that ever lived. Stay until number 1. It's really a whale of a tale. Number 10. The Megalodon. With a name like Megalodon, what else can you expect from this gigantic shark but teeth? Lots of teeth. Its teeth are almost 3 times bigger than those of the great white shark. Its scientific name actually means big tooth. We're obsessed with teeth because most of the Megalodon fossils that have been discovered have been dominated by these large teeth. Based on these fossils, scientists believe that this super shark could grow up to 60 to 80 feet long. For comparison, the great white shark typically grows up to 20 feet long. A few can grow over 30 feet long. So the Megalodon is 2 to 3 times as big as the great white. So don't believe the 2018 movie The Meg. The Megalodon isn't as big as what's shown in the movie, and the Megalodon went extinct before humans even evolved. Megalodon fossils have been dated to the Middle Miocene epoch to the Pliocene epoch, about 15.9 million to 2.6 million years ago. Meanwhile, Homo sapiens started grunting only 2.5 million years ago. Although some theorists say that Megalodons still live until today, scientists believe that this is only 1% possible, as if we don't have enough living sea monsters already. The next one is proof of it. Number 9. The Siphonophore. This approximately 150-foot-long creature was discovered in April 2020, floating in the depths of the coast near Western Australia. Nope, it's not an alien with long arms. It's a Siphonophore. Scientists are considering this Australian Siphonophore as possibly the longest ocean creature ever recorded. It's also the first Siphonophore sighting in that area. Here's a fun trivia. Siphonophores are actually both small and big at the same time. You may be thinking, huh? Is that even possible? Yep, you see, the Siphonophore is made up of tiny zooids, which are small clusters of cells that can clone themselves thousands of times. Each zooid is considered an individual animal, but individual zooids can't reproduce or survive on its own, so it instinctively connects with other zooids and all of them live as one large animal. When part of a Siphonophore chain, each zooid evolves to fill a specific role. It could be for eating, reproducing, or attracting prey. How's that for being adaptable? Number 8. The Giant Squid. You've probably heard this several times already, but since we're already talking about the biggest sea monsters, okay, the Kraken may not be real, but the giant squid is. It's the largest and longest among the cephalopods and can grow up to 66 feet or 20 meters. But that's only what scientists have estimated based on the size of beaks found in the stomachs of sperm whales. Based on records of captured giant squids, the biggest was 43 feet or 13 meters. Who knows how big the squids grow deep in the seas? This creature is so elusive that scientists were able to film it in its natural habitat only in 2012. But it captured the imagination of scientists and artists for centuries. In fact, Pliny the Elder, who lived in the 1st century AD, described a gigantic squid in his famous Naturalis Historia. He described it as having a head as big as a cask, arms 30 feet long, and a carcass weighing 700 pounds. And scientists are still just as curious as Pliny. One of the new things they've discovered is that the tentacles of a giant squid can catch prey even if it's 30 feet away. No one can escape. Number 7. The Giant Oarfish. One fish that might give the Siphonophore a run for its money in terms of length is the Giant Oarfish. After all, the longest bony fish is not called ribbonfish for nothing. It can grow up to 56 feet, but because it loves to live in depths of 3,300 feet, so there may be longer and bigger oarfishes in the sea. They get their name from the pectoral fins that look like oars. In Palau, they're called roosterfish because of their reddish fins. They're also called king of herrings because they look like these silvery fish. But they don't taste as good as herrings. Even though they look like they could give a lot of meat, an oarfish tastes like gelatinous goo. And even though they look like literal monsters from the deep that remind you of legendary sea serpents, they're actually not dangerous. In fact, their diet consists of planktons because they don't have real teeth. Instead, they have what's called gill rakers. so they don't pose any threat to fishermen. Although if you're Japanese, you might believe the folktale that oarfishes forecast earthquakes. According to stories, if many oarfishes wash up on the shore, an earthquake is coming. Scientists that focus on earthquakes have discovered that deep sea fish are sensitive to the Earth's movements. So if these animals suddenly move to the surface, something dangerous might be threatening them. Do you believe these findings? Number 6. The Dunkleosteus Terrelli. Here's another prehistoric animal. Did you know that during the Paleozoic era, which lasted from 542 to 251 million years ago, was considered a time of great changes for the Earth? It was when the supercontinent Pangaea started breaking up into smaller continents, and it was the time when the Devonian period happened. This period is important for our video because this is the age of fishes. In particular, the age of armored fishes. Among those fishes, the dunk was king and emperor all at once. It's got a bone-plated head and upper body. Having a body armor may not seem hydrodynamic. Imagine a knight in 50-pound armor swimming. Nope, not happening. But who cares? This fish had thick jaws with 2 massive fangs. They could rip even prehistoric sharks. See up the badass ante, it could grow up to 20 feet and weigh 1 ton. It's so monstrous that it's been featured on Animal Planet's River Monsters and Animal Armageddon. So, armor or not, this is one sea monster we're glad is extinct. We're halfway through. Are you learning a lot from this video? Then please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. Remember to hit the notification button for regular updates of our informative and exciting animal videos. Number 5. The Japanese spider crab. Crabs are some of the best tasting food there is. Boil them, add some oil, garlic and chili, and you're all set. And one of the best parts of a crab is the meat from its leg. Now imagine eating meat from the legs of this crab. It may not be as big as our other animals in this list, but with a leg span of up to 13 feet and a carapace or main body of 16 inches, the Japanese spider crab is not only the largest crab in the world, but the largest arthropod as well. If you're wondering what kind of animals are under the arthropod family, think crustaceans like crabs, spiders like big hairy daddy long legs, and insects like flies. Fun fact, as the Japanese spider crab grows older, its legs continue to grow longer and longer, but its carapace remains the same. But even as an adult, it can molt. After molting, its carapace becomes soft for a while. Because it's vulnerable during this time, young crabs like to decorate their shells with sponges, kelp, or other objects for camouflage. Maybe it's a Japanese thing for young ones to like a bit of bling. Number 4. The whale shark. If you've seen our other videos, you'll know that we've featured this gentle giant before, and you'll know that it's not a whale or a shark, even though it's called the whale shark. Although it can grow up to 60 feet in length, the whale shark is never a danger to humans or other fish for that matter. Just like the giant oarfish, it only eats planktons. It doesn't even have teeth. When feeding, it can stretch its mouth up to 4 feet or 1 meter wide. Because of this animal's beauty and rarity, dive tours in certain countries like the Philippines have special dives specifically for whale sharks. The months between November and May are generally considered whale shark season in Philippine seas. But this type of tourism has led to some issues. For example, tour guides give food to the animals, so tourists get the chance to pose with these massive creatures. If you get food delivered straight to your mouth, would you still want to forage the deep and massive oceans? Of course not. But feeding whale sharks this way upsets their feeding, breeding, and migrating patterns. So if you want to swim with the whale sharks, remember to swim responsibly and ethically. After all, whale sharks are already on the endangered species list, and you wouldn't want to have these magnificent animals become as extinct as the megalodons, right? Number 3. The Ichythosaur. What do you think are the chances of finding a treasure while walking along the beach? Very high, at least for amateur fossil hunter Paul de La Salle. He was just walking along a beach in England when he came across a huge fossil and other pieces that fitted together to form a jawbone that was 3.2 feet. He got in touch with experts, and together, they assembled an ichthyosaur, which is a prehistoric carnivorous marine reptile that looked like a massive dolphin with an extra long, toothy snout. Think Flipper, just as big as 2 school buses. The fossils Paul discovered were dated to 205 million years, and the ichthyosaur was estimated to be 85 feet long. The discovery is a big deal for scientists because it might be a clue to finding out why some ocean creatures, like whales, evolved into the mammoths that they are. Too bad the dolphins didn't inherit the DNA of their prehistoric lookalike. We'd have jumbo dolphins now. Number 2. The lion's mane jellyfish. We're sure you've heard of Sherlock Holmes and his famous stories like A Study in Scarlet, The Sign of the Four, or The Hound of the Baskervilles. You may also know some of the lesser-known stories like The Adventure of the Mazarin Stone, or The Adventure of the Lion's Mane. Like Dr. Watson, not a lot of people know about the lion's mane jellyfish. This is a pity because its sting can cause severe allergic reactions that can kill people, just like it did in the story. It's made its way to number 2 on our list, even if its body can grow only up to over 6 feet in diameter. That's definitely smaller even than a giant octopus. The reason for its high rank is its tentacles. This animal gets its name for its flowing tentacles, some of which can reach up to 120 feet in length. Talk about having a long reach. I wonder who'd win between a lion's mane jellyfish and Luffy. Number 1. The blue whale. Topping our list is the longest, heaviest, biggest animal to have ever lived on Earth, the blue whale. There are records of blue whales growing beyond 100 feet or 30.5 meters. That's easily the length of 3 school buses, or around 40 adult elephants, or 30 T-Rexes. It's so big that its heart alone is as big as a small car. It's so big that its heartbeat can be detected from 2 miles away. The average weight of an adult blue whale is 200,000 to 300,000 pounds. That's over 100 tons. Fun trivia, a blue whale's skin markings are just like human fingerprints. Each one is unique and distinctive, so if you ever meet a blue whale, you'll never forget it at all. There you have it, our top 10 biggest sea monsters that ever lived. Which one blew your mind? Share your answers in the comment section below. And don't forget to click the like button and to subscribe to our channel. And while you're here, you might want to check out our video on the 10 largest chickens you never knew existed.